Hi. If you don't want to sit through this, I don't blame you because I've got laryngitis. Well, it's not really bad, but it's worse. And flu, I guess you could say. So, as you can tell from my voice, I'm just not all up to snuff. And it might be annoying for you to sit through this uh, letter that I'm going to be sending to the survivors of Charlie Hebdo. And you'll see why. If you don't want to sit through this video, I'm going to copy and paste this letter into the header, and you can read it that way, and it'll save you some time, and maybe it'll let you know why I'm doing this. So I'll do it right now, but really feel free to just stop it and read it for yourself and see if you agree with what I have to say here. Okay. To the survivors of Charlie Hebdo, now is not the time to fold. As a matter of fact, I can't think of a better time now than for you, survivors of Charlie Hebdo massacre, to come back stronger than ever with new material that, if seen, will rock the Islamic world and at best destroy it. Instead of having cartoons that make fun of Muhammad, why not now put controversial Quran scriptures and Hadith sayings from Islamic sources with those anti-Muhammad cartoons? Scriptures from the Quran and sayings from the Hadith that expose the great stupidity and evil of Islam to the whole world, and to expose it to the world on a massive scale, which I can't think of any time be better since the Muslims called attention by massacring your people, 10 of them. What you could do is, instead of having a drawing of Muhammad looking stupid or evil, you could have a drawing, certainly, but have the cartoon of Muhammad talking about how the sun, quote, runs to a resting place, which would be coming from Quran Surah, that's chapter 36, 38, where it then, quote, sets in a muddy spring, which would be Quran scripture 1886. You could then say that you could then have the Sahih Hadith. Sahih means authentic, something that a Sunni Muslim has to believe in or not be a Sunni Muslim. You could have the Sahih, authentic saying of Muhammad, then saying that the sun, quote, prostrates under the throne of Allah before seeking permission of Allah to rise again. And that would be Sahih Hadith, Bukhari, Volume 4, number 421. Or you could then show how the Quran actually says, it confirms a book, the Holy Bible, which all Muslims believe to be corrupted. And for that, for that, there was Quran Surah chapter 1094, which is the best because it says, if you are in doubt, this is talking to Muhammad, which is talking to all Muslims, since they're supposed to use Muhammad as their example. If you're in doubt about that's Allah saying, what we have sent down, which is the Quran, then go to those who've been reading the before scriptures. That would be the whole Bible. All right. Yeah. And here you could use, I could also use Quran 4, 136, 150, 151, 152, 152, 285, and 40, 70 through 72 to show how the Bible, the Holy Bible, is, quote, all this book. Or you could have a cartoon showing Muhammad, how Muhammad thought sewage water was okay to drink. And that would be from Sunan Abu Dawud Hadith, where Muhammad says water is not defiled, to the point where they were drinking well water that had dead dogs and crap and stuff in it. I don't know if they were drinking it, but they were using it for ablution. And apparently there's no problem with that because the Quran, there's a Quran scripture that says if there's no water around for ablution, you can use clean soil. But you know what's clean about stuff that has dead dogs and crap in it? And there's also that Sunan Abu Dawud hadith that talks about how they used uh, water with a dead donkey to drink. So, which could make another good cartoon. All right. Or you could show, again, through cartoon, how there is Sahih, that's authentic hadith, having Muhammad believing we go through a blood clot stage as embryos, and it's for 40 days. You go through a blood clot stage for 40 days, which lets us know at the same time that when the Quran says clot of congealed blood, mentioned in Quran Surah, it's chapter 96, called the clot, al-alaq, the clot, when it's talking about fetal development, it means clot of congealed blood, not a clinging leech-like substance. That Muslims are now trying to get us to believe that alaq means now. Okay, when we're discussing embryology, you could also have a cartoon of Muhammad allowing Muslims to rape women, captured women, in the presence of their husbands by pointing to Sunan Abu Dawud 22050 in how it's reported in the first part, not the last part, but the first part of Quran 424, which removes African American complaint for the time U.S. said slavery, when it says, "Forbidden to you, Muslim, are married women." You can't have sex with married women unless, except, because except is a key word here, what your right hand possess. In other words, you can have sex with someone's wife if she's your slave, which totally removes African American complaint for the time you said slavery. And which, you know, Sunan Abu Dawud 220 and 50 is very popular with ISIS and Boko Haram. It allowed Boko Haram to capture those Christian Nigerian women and girls and sell them off to be married to Muslim terrorists. All right. I tell you, now that Charlie Hebdo has world attention on it from Muslims trying to make Oblamer's wish come true, that the future must not belong to those who would slander the Prophet of Islam, you could have Muhammad in cartoon form wearing women's clothing and show how Muhammad was breaking a commandment in the Torah. That's Allah's book given to Musa. And that Muhammad was a transvestite due to the hadith that has Muhammad saying that he only receives revelation by wearing, well, in the clothing of, or garments of Aisha, whom he married when she was 6 years old and consummated when she was 9. And that's from authentic hadith. And you can make a cartoon about that. Anyway, I can't think of a better time now to really rattle Islam and perhaps weaken it than not by shutting up, but by using cartoons with Quran and hadith sayings to expose these mistakes in the Quran and sayings of hadith on a major scale, huge scale. This stuff that I mentioned is all just the tip of the iceberg in the stupidity and evil Muhammad and the Quran have. And for those who are watching this video, which would be you guys, maybe there is someone, maybe some of you, I don't know, out there knows how to reach Charlie Hebdo to let them know, you know, hey, maybe you can be the one to send this idea to the survivors of Charlie Hebdo. Now is the time to strike hard and fast. Strike hard and strong. By the way, There is a hadith that has Muhammad believing the earth is spread out on the back of a giant agitated fish. Nun, called Nun. It's called Nun. And all this goes by other names like Behemoth and stuff like that. And it's spread out on the back of this giant fish with 7 other earths. Allah then places down mountains to keep the earth from being destroyed by earthquakes caused by the agitation of being on that giant fish. And there's also another hadith that has Muhammad believing that a solar eclipse occurs when the sun falls out of its chariot into the sea of water, quote, held up over our heads by the power of Allah, so that not a drop falls. Not a drop should fall. Although such a saying comes from Al-Tabari, well, guess what? It lets you know what Quran 36:40-42 is talking about. When it infers that the sun and moon, quote, travel in boats similar to their offspring Noah, and that Allah can drown them, the sun and moon, so that no one can help them nor hear their cry. That could make a great cartoon for Charlie Hebdo. Oh, and then when it comes to that giant fish called Nun, that Muhammad believed that the earth was spread out on, just type into your web browser, Muhammad, fish called Nun, earth spread out on, and it should take you to the Al-Tabari hadith for that. I mean, really, now is the time for Charlie Hebdo to try to expose such insanity in Islam using the hadith and Quran on a major scale. Sincerely, je suis Charlie. Bye.